So as I was saying, like Jesus, you see the James 2, they've left the apostrophe like that. Moses, for the plural, it is correct. Or King James's Bible, or Moses's law. So whichever way you want to use it, just that we should have it in mind that we should be consistent in the one that we are choosing. Okay. Then when we come down, you say the possessive of inanimate nouns is expressed not with S. So the inanimate, do we know the inanimate nouns? Hello? Do we know the inanimate nouns?
No, madam.
It's just the same as the common nouns, okay? Is expressed not with S, but rather by means of phrase, as in the leg of the table is a common noun. The size of the car is a common noun. The color of her eyes, they are all common, okay? So those ones does not use the words, the possessive. Please, do we get it? So this is a general rule. So there are only few inanimate nouns that regularly take the possessive form, like the university's doors. When we say the university doors, we know what we mean. The bank's objective, her heart's desire, the nation's goal, Ghana's pride. So that's and that's and that's okay. And also to form plurals of letters, numbers. So apostrophe can also be used to form plurals of letters, numbers, symbols, and words as in 3A's. Okay. So for instance, in the 1960s, you realize that when we are writing 1960s, there will be definitely an apostrophe. The MP's bed, the how do we call it, the MP's bed in the 1970s, all those ones there are what? Apostrophe. So let's move to the parenthesis or the commas. What do we use when we say parenthesis? What do we use it for? What do we use the parenthesis for, or what do we use the brackets for? So the parentheses simply, they are used to enclose elements that interrupt a sentence. Okay. So for instance, they are also used to separate a comment, extra information, and afterthought from the rest of the sentence. So when we look here, it says the evils that men do. Dot, 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 dot. So Shakespeare reminds us, leaves afterwards. The
Why me?
message she'd never had a wink for months, but I'm sure she was what? Joking. Okay. It's separate comment, but it add information to the first word one. Okay. Then to enclose cross references. Crocodile. We all know crocodile is a reptile. Okay. So crocodile, a large reptile with a long tail covered with a hard skin. The one in the bracket is putting more emphasis on the crocodile, that crocodile is what? A reptile. Okay. Ghana, SIC, actually Gold Coast, became independent in 1957. And we know very well that we became independent in the what? 6th March 1957. So the 6th March is putting more emphasis on the independence of Ghana. We had our independence in 1957. Then we wrote the day to put more emphasis on the date of the independence. Okay. And again, it also shows phonetic transcription. We all know that in our dictionary, when we are looking for words from our dictionary, mostly it transcribed for us. How many of us have observed that? Have we observed that even with our phones, we still experience that when we are looking for a word? How many of you have observed that? Hello? Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
I hope you've observed that, like full. So when we are transcribing, the parentheses will come, then the transcription will be inside. I hope we've noticed that.
Yes, madam.
Yes.
So, okay.
Yes, please.
So we move to colon. When we say colon, what do we mean by colon? Okay, so colon introduces the material which follows it. Okay, the material may be a list, a statement, or whatever the earlier section of the sentence had led the reader to expect. Okay, so in our first example, that is the A, before a long list, and often introduced by phrases such as, for example, for instance, as follows, in the following example. So we realize that when we are giving examples about something, we usually bring those things before the examples follows. And before you use the examples, you need to bring these things, the phrases, these phrases. And after these phrases, there is a word, colon. So for example, it says, Nancy went into the market and bought the following items. The colon will come. Before you list the items Nancy went to what? Buy. And when you are writing it, the items, you separate the items by using what? Commas. Please, do we get it?
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
Okay, so we should move on. Okay. Then the B also, in a formal writing after a main clause, where the following statement illustrates or explains the content of that clause. Here, the colon may be replaced by a semicolon or a full stop. So let's look at this. A mighty tree has fallen. It's formal. My benefactor has passed away. It is putting more stress on the first phrase. A mighty tree has fallen. Hey, my benefactor has passed away. And we know when we say a tree has fallen, it is talking about death. Are we getting it? So the next sentence is putting much emphasis on the first clause. Okay. And when we are ending, we end with a full stop. I thank God, colon. Why do you thank God? Because my prayers for a job have been answered. My prayers for my quiz papers have been answered. It is putting emphasis on the first clause. When I say I thank God, there is meaning, but I am putting more emphasis on it that I thank God because my prayers for a job have been what? Answered. And again, we can use the colon to separate hours and minutes. The lecture begins at 2:30 p.m. We realize that the colon separates the hours and the what? The minutes. Should we go on?
Yes, please.
Okay. Sorry. So our next punctuation, which we can look at, is our what? Comma. When we say a comma, what do we mean by a comma? What do we use a comma for? Yes, what do we use a comma for, Ebenezer? So, with all the punctuation marks in, the most complex one is the comma, how we use it.
Madam, please
And
move our right hand is up.
okay, Ali,
Madam, please, my hand isn't up.
Okay. So the comma is the most common mark of punctuation and the most complex one. We usually make mistakes with it, okay? Like a careful study of it regarding the use of comma will enable you to apply it correctly in writing. If you don't know how to use commas, always you will make mistakes. You will not know how to use the comma. And it's something that we use in our daily writings, which we sometimes find it difficult. Okay. And we are going to look at how and when we have to what use the commas. Okay. So in our module, we have a comma is the most versatile punctuation mark in the hands of the skillful writer to achieve different communicative purposes. But in the hands of the less skillful, it is easily what abused. Okay. So first we have the routine uses. When we say the routine uses, that is, comma is used routinely as a conventional sign in dates. Okay. In dates, how do we use it in dates? Okay. To separate the year from the what? The date. That is why when we are writing March 7th, when we write March 7th, there is a comma. Okay, 7th March. Please, when we look on my screen, the 2.2, that is the routine use, is the A. You realize that the 7th, the TH is up. Are we seeing it?
Yes, madam.
No, madam.
When you look at the A, there is a 7 at the last end, which has the THR. Please, that is not how we write it. Now, when you are writing, it should follow the same pattern. We don't write it up. Are you getting it? If you are
Yes,
writing
madam.
it, don't write your 7th like this. Other than that, it will be circled. So, 7th March 1957. So here we realize that the year has been separated with the what? With the date. Okay, it has been separated. These are alternative conversion. Which of them do we usually use? The one that you think will be okay and suitable for you, the one that you'll be easy with is what you have to what? Use. Be consistent with what you use. Don't say, I am writing this here, I'm going to write this here and make mistakes. You choose what you want. And let's look at the next one. It says, now what happens when the year is used to stand alone or used as an adjective? In that context, no comma is required. So they gave example as the 1979 coup. Okay, caused a lot of pains to many families in Ghana. So here, the 1979 has been used as what here? Hello?
Hi.
We use
Routine.
an
That's a
adjective.
routine.
Yes.
Hi.
Who said it's a mistake?
No, madam, you said it's a routine.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't hear that. All right. So we can move on. So if it's a routine, it tends to be an adjective here. So here it doesn't need any comma or any other thing. And again, the next one, two places. The commas separate successfully larger geographical landmarks. For example, when we are writing our addresses, Kaneshi, Accra. You see, at first people used to hyphenate, but now it is not hyphenation. Rather, it is comma. So Kaneshi, Accra, you bring a comma. Tamale, Northern Region, there are different names on its own. So all you bring a comma. Central Region, comma. Ghana, comma. There are different words on their own. Okay, has several forts and castle. Please, do we get it? We realize that we have lots of castles and we have lots of forts. So why don't we use the comma in that sentence? Because it has no larger geographical unit to distinguish. Maybe we can say Elmina
Madam,
Castle.
I want to ask a
Hello?
question. Continue, please.
Okay. Who is
So
talking?
it's Enoch.
Okay, Enoch.
Yes. You were explaining that the Kaneshi and then Accra, they are two separate words. So I want to ask, in a case where maybe you interpret, like you interchange the two, maybe you write Accra first before.
No, Accra, sorry. Accra is a no, Kaneshi is a suburb in
Okay,
Accra.
okay,
So the suburb will come, then you locate the region.
okay.
Are we getting it? Yes.
Yes, please.
That is why I am explaining this, that with the several forts and castle, because it's a larger geographical unit, if I had mentioned Elmina Castle, that one there will be a comma. Port
Okay,
Amsterdam, there will be a comma. Cape Coast Castle, there will be a comma. But I have mentioned it as one, as a geographical unit. So that one, I wouldn't bring any of the commas.
okay.
You get it.
Yes, please. Thank
But
you.
if I am mentioning it one after the other, that one there will be a comma. And with locations and landmarks, because of the suburbs, the suburb will come, then the comma will come before the town itself. That is what I mean. Do we get it now?
Yes, please.
Okay. Then our comments too, we can use some as what? Numerals.
Madam,
Yes.
I raised my hand long ago before you get here. The portion where you said the seventh and the TH is at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Please, can you scroll back so that I show you what I mean? Then you correct it for me.
Okay.
You see the first one from the 2.2, the A, the
Mm-hmm.
March 7th or March
Mm-hmm.
7th. The
Mm-hmm.
first March 7, there's no TH. But the second one that we start with the day before the month, there is
Mm-hmm.
the TH. So I want to
Mm-hmm.
ask that if you are writing maybe a statement or an essay, and then
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting with the month, that
Mm-hmm.
means the TH will not come by. If I'm starting with the day, I have to bring the TH.
Exactly.
Okay.
Are you okay?
Thank you. Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay. So I was talking about numerals. The comma is used to separate what? Numbers. Okay, except those used for purpose of what? Identification, like street numbers, yes, telephone numbers that you don't need commas, and codes and serial numbers. So into groups of three, starting from the right, we see some interpretations there that has been indicated with what? Commas. The commas will help you know if it is in what? Millions, whether if it is in what? Thousands, if it is in what? Tens. Do we get it? Then we have inverted names, the D. The comma is used to separate the surname from the other names when they are being what? Inverted. When we say inverted, what do we mean by inverted? Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
When we say inverted names, what do we mean by inverted names? Please, can you mute yourself? Who is making that noise? So inverted, what do we mean by inverted? Okay, let's look at the example. Maybe that will help you understand it more. Grace Kafu alote. They inverted. So when you turn something upside down, okay. So when we start with Felix, who has unmuted herself? Okay. When we have the name Grace Kafui Alote, we realize that the Grace is the first name, Kafui is the middle name, then the Alote is the surname. So right now we are going to invert the names by bringing the, how do we call it? The surname first, which is Alote. So Alote, comma, then the other names will continue. That is what we mean by inverted names. So the surname will come, then the comma, then the other names will what? Continue. Please, do you get that one too?
Yes,
Yes,
madam.
please.
Okay, then we have titles and degrees. So we use comma to separate a title or degree. So we have a title like Esquire, Theophilus Aqua, comma, Esquire. So you realize that the comma will come in between the name and the what? The title. It will come in between the name and the title. Hello, please. Please. It will come between the name and the title, and we know Esquire is a lawyer. Musa Mohammed, comma, PhD. Okay, PhD. The PhD too is what? A title or degree. Seiram Agbenyon, comma, junior is there. So you realize that commerce also separates what? Titles and degrees. Then the next one, in letters, this is used to follow the salutation and subscription of letter. Yes. Dear Tess, our salutation, comma, it will come. Dear Mr. Coy, comma, my dear father, comma. Okay, so in our salutation, the commas show. And in our subscription to it shows yours ever, yours faithfully, yours affectionate sign, yours lover, yours friend. All these things, when you write them, it follows with what? Subscription. Okay. Then it's saying American usage favors the colon rather than the comma in a
Madam,
business.
please, I have a question.
Okay.
Madam, I can see that after dear test, there is
Mhm.
comma and then a column. Dear Mr. Koi, column and then comma and column. Dear my dear father. Then so which one is which? Is the column should come
We
and
are
then
doing with commas. We are not dealing with colons. Just have that in mind.
so why are they bringing comma and then
Relax.
column again?
Relax. We are dealing with comma. We are not dealing with semicolon. That is why when you write an essay, dear test, you bring comma, you don't bring semicolon. That is why indirect. They said American usage favors the colon rather than the what? Comma in business and formalities. Do you get it?
Yes, madam.
You realize that when we're doing the bracket and the parenthesis, we are saying it adds more information. So because of the colon there, that is why in your model, they brought it into bracket that the American usage favors the colon rather than the what? Comma in business and formal what? Letters. Please, do you get it?
Yes, madam.
So we use the British side. We deals with comma. Don't go for the semicolon. Ignore the semicolon there. Rather deal with your commas. When it comes
Okay,
to your
madam.
salutation, it is comma. When it comes to your subscription, it is comma. English is rule. Go by it. Then the second major use of the comma is to separate items in a list of what? Words or phrases or clauses. I mentioned it earlier. The carpenter bought a saw, a hammer, a chisel, a box of nails. He bought different things. So it has been separated. The comma separates the different items the carpenter what bought. The garden is full of red, pink, yellow, and white roses. So you realize that commas, even when we are reading and there is a comma, there is a pause for us to know there is a comma. Okay, so that is that. So let's look at the next one, which is the comma is used after a non-finite or verbless clause at the beginning of a sentence. So it says, to make a good class, a student must work hard all the time. So after the first clause, there is a comma. So for instance, when you are writing something like, when you are sending a message, hello, you realize that when you start with a hello, there is a comma. Please, there is a comma. Okay, let's look at the next one. Having plugged their fields early, the farmers hope to take advantage of the first words.
Madam,
Rain.
please, someone's hand is up.
Who is that?
And it's Felicity.
All right, Felicity.
Please, I want to ask a question about how to use a comma in a title. Where we saw the senior, Madam, please scroll up.
I told you that this unit, if you don't pay attention, we keep going back and back and back. Oh, yes, I'm there.
Senior Agbenyo Junior.
Mhm.
And what if you inverted the name? You wrote the surname first. Will you bring the comma before the other name at the same time, comma before the junior?
Listen to me carefully. The ones that we brought comma at the surnames were inverted names. When we are inventing names, when the names are being inverted, you turn it upside down. The surname comes first. Miss Mensa Senor Gabriel Kofi. That one, it is an inverted name. But when it comes to the title, whichever way around, it separates the name from the title. So if you bring Felicity Amonima senior, after the Amonima, there will be a comma before the senior, because senior is a title, Amonima is a name. So the comma separates the title and the name.
Okay, thanks.
Do you get it? Do you get it?
Yes, madam.
Hello? If you don't follow what we are doing, you get yourself confused. Just have it in mind that always when there is a name and a title or a degree, after the name, there is a comma before the title. Philly, do you get it?
Madam.
Or you don't get
Thank
it?
you. And I just want to ask, what if you want to invert the name? How are you going to write it? You write the surname before the other name before the title. How are you
Asking
going
you
to
are
use the name?
separating them in the title. Philly?
Yes. Ma.
You said how? I don't get it.
I want to know if you invert the name, the surname will come first before the other name,
Oh,
before the title. How are you going to
not
use the comma?
necessarily. Not necessarily. Not necessarily that the same name have to what come first or the English name. Even when we look at what we have here, Theophilus Aqua, the surname is the last one. Philly, do you get it?
Yes.
Seram Agbenyo. Agbenyo is the surname. The surname comes last. So how you want to use it? Okay. So that one doesn't have a rule that the first name has to come first or the second name has to come first. Are you getting it? Just that we are much particular with the separation of the titles of the name from the degree, the title, the names from the titles and the degrees. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so this one, the infinite clauses and that one I'll leave for you to read, so that we are still in unit 2, section 2, sorry. Then the last one here, the comma is also used before and after a non-defining, okay, relative clause or a phrase in apposition, which offers extra information about the words. Then now Prof. Obey, who has just returned from Japan, will attend the matriculation ceremony next Saturday. Prof. Obey, who has just returned from Japan. So Prof. Obey, he returned from Japan. So you are adding more meaning to the words, to the first thing. He came, he went to Japan. The purpose of him is to come for matriculation on Saturday. So that is that. Let's quickly look at the next section, which is going to talk about yes. The next section here is going to talk about the carrot. Please, have we heard of the carrot or have we seen it before?
No,
Hello.
madam.
You've not seen the carrot.
No,
So
please.
the carrot is mainly an editorial mark used to show that something is missing from the text. You see it, we all use it every day. When you are writing and you omit something, you bring that sign. Do you remember now?
Yes, please.
That you are laughing. That is what we call carrots. Okay. So that sign, that's when we are writing and we omit. Maybe we write an essay. When we are done, we realize that we've made a mistake. So we try to omit. We've omitted something, you bring it. The company has no to give you a good credit. So they omitted the word hesitation, and they wrote the company has no hesitation to give you a good word credit. Do we get it? That is why the carat sign is there, then the hesitation is what? Up. Please, do we get it? The presence of mother made all the differences to her moral. There is no meaning, so they omitted her. That is why the her is up. The presence of her mother made all the differences to her moral. Please, do we get it?
Yes, please.
They say they don't know. My people say they don't know, but they use it every day.
The
Okay,
name is unknown.
it's unknown. Then today you've learned something new, something known.
Yes, madam.
Okay, so we move on. Let's look at the dash. When do we use the dash? When do we use the dash and what does it mean? So I would say, from my view, the dash is a dramatic mark and it signals an abrupt break in the flow of a sentence. So here, this mark is used more often in informal usage instead of what? Comma. We realize that the commas are mostly used in formal letters or formal statements. A colon or a semicolon to make a piece of writing more vivid or dramatic, or both. So as I explained earlier, it's a dramatic what? Mark, sorry. So for example, it says, so you've been deceiving me for years. Okay. Then it says, how can I ever believe you again? Because this type of statement, you can't give it to an elderly person. It's an informal way. Do we get it? And it's dramatic. You see how it separated the two words, sentences. The next one is, there was a loud clank of metals, smoke and dust rose, and people rushed to the scene. It was chaos. Indirectly, it adds meaning to the first one. Okay, so it pauses, but let me say we shouldn't use it for an ordinary pause or stop in place of comma. I told you when we are reading commas, you pause. When you meet those exclamation signs, those signs, sorry, those punctuations, you pause. But the dash points backwards. Okay, it points backwards and calls attention to the word or group of words that precedes it. Okay, so you realize that the dash here points back to what um the first sentence was talking about. Okay, then there are other examples too. The bell told blah blah blah. The next one, B, it is also used silently or in pairs to separate extra information, an afterthought, or a comment in a very dramatic way. Gary, a student's companion, also students what say. It is pointing back to what the student companion, what it means. Are we getting it? That's what the dash does. It's a dramatic mark. Then in informal writing, brackets and commas replace the dash. So we know that the dash are for informal, the brackets and commas are used for the formal. So it is sometimes used to separate the identification of a quotation. When footnotes are not used as in, the child is the father of the man, and I would wish my days to be bound each to each by natural pity. Wordsworth. Are you getting it? So in this one, it's a formal way. It is telling you the person who wrote it. Okay. Then we have ellipsis. When we say ellipsis, what do we mean by ellipsis?
Do, 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 to do.
Who is that?
Hey, bruh.
Who is that?
Mana, it's me. Oh.
Who? Mention your name.
Nana Yao.
Nana Yao.
It's Ododo to Dampa. So the ellipsis refers to series of three space points, as he said, Ododo to do, to indicate the omission. Okay, it is mostly to indicate omission of material regarded not essential within a quotation. Okay, it says Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the original sentence is Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, who had studied in an American university, set ablaze Ghana's struggle for independence. So with the shortened one, there have been ellipses. They've omitted something. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah set ablaze Ghana's struggle for independence. Okay, so always when there is an ellipsis, it must maintain the essential meaning of the original word quotation. Okay, let me see if I can put some example down for you. I have some example here who says, no man is an island, entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main, to do. Any man's death diminishes me because I am involved in a mankind, Then you put it in. Always there is meaning. It doesn't change the meaning of it. He said Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, who had studied in an American university, set ablaze Ghana's struggle for independence. We know that we are talking about Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. We know he set an ablaze Ghana's struggle for independence, even without who has studied in American university. When it is there like this, you understand the sentence, or we don't understand.
Yeah,
Yes.
We
Yes.
understand.
So just that. Let's quickly move to the exclamation sign. The exclamation sign, what does it do? Mm-hmm. Exclamation.
Now it expresses the high level of emotion, whereby
Yes,
somebody is moody or
yes,
happy. Uh-huh.
yes, you are right. So it is used to end a sentence or remarks that expresses a high degree of strong emotions like anger, joy, or an amazement. What are some of the examples that we usually use some for? You say, shut up, okay? Shut up. The home crowded yelled, go. It expresses an amazement, joy, go. Walk out of my office at once. It expresses what? Anger. Do we get it?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
please.
Yes,
Okay.
madam.
And it says,
Command.
whoa, what a surprise. What a wonderful surprise. The young lady exclaimed. It's what? It is talking about what? Joy. The story. Oh, let's talk about the full stop. When do we use the full stop? Mm-hmm.
At the end of a statement, madam.
At the end of the statement, we use the words full stop. So it's a common punctuation mark used to mark the end of our words sentences. The young lady looked coolly at the gentleman. Full stop. There is meaning out of the sentence. Okay. Then the gentleman watched her coldly. Full stop. So B, a full stop may end an abbreviation or a person's initials. And I think we've done that in our previous lesson. Mr. KB. Mr. is what? Mr. Is it an initial
A
or
No,
title.
abbreviation?
it's abbreviation, madam.
Abbreviation of what?
Master.
Okay. Then the KB, is it abbreviation or initials?
Initials.
Yes. So the K stands for something, the B stands for what? Something. We did this in our previous lesson. That's when we are abbreviating words, we use the words, the full stops. Okay, in abbreviating that we got to chance upon the PM, the AM, and so forth and so forth. Then we also talked about full stop that is often omitted when abbreviations consist of capital letters. We talked about this. UNESCO, ECOWAS, the NEPAD. We talked about it in our previous lesson. So our next thing is the hyphen. When do we use the words the hyphen? And when we say hyphen, what do we use it for? Okay. So the hyphen is used to form compound words and to link parts of words. So again, here we have it. It is necessary not to confuse the hyphen with the word dash. How would we know this is a hyphen and this is a dash? How were you able to differentiate between a hyphen and a dash? Hello.
And I have
Hi.
hyphen is short.
Okay.
Then dash is a little bit longer than hyphen.
Okay. Simple as that. So if to form a compound word from two other words, kind-hearted, compound words, you realize that some of you have compound names. So there will be a dash there, a hyphen there. Word formation, sea green, they are all used with, so mostly with compound names or compound words, we use hyphen. Then to form a compound word from a prefix and a noun. We've already talked about prefix and suffixes. So when we say a prefix, we know. Or, my people, adding a letter from the beginning of the word to the root word. You remember?
Yes, please.
Yes, madam.
Yes,
So
madam.
Anti-America is a prefix word, so it's compound. So there is a hyphen. Then they see to form a compound word from two other words which are separated by preposition. And we know our preposition, we have in, of, to, under, in. Okay, so father-in-law, we use the hyphen to separate the preposition in it. Out of date, mother to be, officer in charge, or we use the word hyphen. Then sometimes to separate a prefix ending in a vowel from the word beginning with the same vowel, coordinate. Because of the two vowels combination, there is always what? A hyphen to separate the prefix from the what? The root word. So coordinate, re-elect, permanent, preempt. Okay, so that is that. Then our question mark. When do we use our question mark? So they are used to end a direct question. What's your name? Is a question. Where do you live? They all use the word question. So note that it is never used in an indirect question as in. He asked what my name was. It's an indirect question. Okay. Which is not like the first one, where do you live, a direct question. So this is an indirect question. He inquired where I lived. It becomes what? Indirect. Let's look at the B. The less common use is when a statement is supposed to be what? Interpreted as a question. You were the first to arrive. For instance, something has happened. Oh, Felix, you were the first to arrive, so you can update us on it. Okay. Then it is sometimes used in brackets to express doubts. For example, here, Ghana became independent in 1957 because the person in 1956, because the person doubts the year, the person bring the question mark in a bracket. So mostly when we see the question marks in the bracket, it is expressing what? Doubt. Okay. Then question marks, the inverted commas. So quotation marks can be either double or what? Single. Let's look at the double markers. The double markers, they are used in different forms. These are normally used to enclose the actual words of a speaker. For example, she replied, "That's your worry." Okay, so it is used to enclose the actual words of what? A speaker. Okay, Grace, her mother said, "You can't do that." It is talking about who? Grace. She is the speaker. And what did she say? You can't do that. So she closes it with what? Inverted commas. Then, sorry, the next one is to identify words which are being discussed as words. For instance, the word flame comes from a French word, conflagration comes from the Latin word. So it identifies words which are being discussed as what? Words. And the last one is it encloses the titles of short stories, poems, and songs, but not what? Books. So if you're a literature student, when you're writing a poem, when you write a title of a poem, you bring it into an inverted commas. So let's look at, have you read what the excursion? Okay, it's a story or a poem. So stories, poem, or songs, you can put them into inverted commas, but not names of books like Amate do book changes. Then you put changes into inverted commas. No, but if it is a poem, you can put them in stories and songs. You can put them Then again, in bibliography, to distinguish the title of a selection or an article from that of the whole book in which the selection of the article is printed. So, for instance, we have Wordsworth William, Ode to Duty is a title of an article, then selected poem, how the person wrote it. So bibliography is the same as referencing, okay, how the referencing is being made. Then the single quotation marks are used to mark quotation which are within other words quotation. John asked me, did the lecturer say the lecture is cancelled or postponed? Okay, so to mark quotation which are within other words quotations. Let's look at the semicolon. When do we use the semicolon? Yes. And what is the semicolon? Hello. What is the semicolon? Can somebody say something about it?
Is using giving an example.
You said what? So the semicolon gives a greater break in thoughts than the comma. Okay, it gives a break, okay, in it. So the semicolon is used to mark a degree of separation between sentences, elements considerably greater than that marked by comma, nearly as great as that marked by a period. So it is used to separate main clauses which are related or dependent in what? Thoughts. So let's look at this example. To err is human. To forgive is divine. Okay. So to err is human is the main clause, which was related with a dependent thought. To forgive is what divine. Swimming is an acquired skill. It is to be learned. Okay, so the swimming is an acquired skill is the main word clause. So after the main clause, the next one, you need to bring the semicolon there. Then the B, it is also used to mark off separate statements which are internally punctuated by with commas. Okay. So the summary, you can read a summary and understand some of them well. I keep telling you, you should consider your introductions and your summary. So in our section 4, we are going to look at what preposition is. What is a preposition, my people? Yes. Preposition. Hello.
Hi.
What is a preposition? I believe we've all done preposition in our secondary school level. What is a preposition?
Madam,
Yes,
please.
madam. Madam,
Prepositions.
a preposition
They are words that show the
is a
position
word
of
that shows the relationship between.
Hey, two people are talking at the same time. One at a time. Felix, are you on?
Yes, madam.
And two people are talking at the same time.
And now,
So who is going? Who is talking for me?
madam,
Preposition.
Mm-hmm.
Madam, please, Mubarak want to talk.
All right, go ahead.
Madam, please, preposition is a group of words, let's say, which are used to link nouns and pronouns.
Who else?
Madam, please, Felix. So preposition, they are words that show the position of something.
Okay, what are some of the examples of prepositions? They are here. At, for, in, on, beside, under, to, before, of, from, towards, etc. Over, under, into, near. They are all examples of what? Prepositions. Okay. So here, the problem of the list above is that this same forms many functions as the other. So let's look at the example here. The hat is on the table. So the on is our what? Preposition, isn't it? Hello?
Yes, please.
Yes,
Madam.
madam.
And the next one is what?
He put on a hat.
The on becomes what?
An adverb.
Madam, please, the on is showing the position of the.
The position of what?
Madam, please, the on is showing the position of the noun. The position of the noun.
Madam.
Felicity,
Please,
right?
Rose, madam.
Okay, talk.
Please, the on is adding more meaning to the word.
What is an adverb?
Madam, please, Nkrumah's hand is up.
All right, Nkrumah.
I wanted to, I said with the on, I was saying something about the on.
Okay.
I said it's adding more meaning to the sentence.
Okay. We know it is adding more meaning. You know, some of the prepositions can be used as an adverb, depending on how the sentence is being what? Written. So the prepositions that are used as the adverbs in the sentence above they are modifying the verbs. So when you see the hat is on the table, it is showing the position of where the hat is. He put on a hat. It is the on there is modifying the verb put. So there it becomes an adverb. My people, do you get it?
Yes, madam, please.
The hat is on the table. It is showing us the position where the hat is. Hat is. Okay. He put on a hat. It is modifying the verb put. Let's move to the next one. The delegation arrived at noon. Here it becomes the preposition. The assailant came at. So the at here becomes adverb of what? Time. My people, do you get it? The assailant came at me with blows. No, here it wouldn't be time. It is describing the what? The verb came. The assailant came at me with blows. It tends to modify the verb came. Please, do you get it?
Yes,
Let
madam.
me give you this sentence. Kwaku went up in the elevator. This sentence, the up there, is it adverb or preposition?
Madam, preposition.
Kwame went Yes, an adverb. Kwame went up in the elevator. It becomes an adverb here because it is modifying the verb went. So you realize that if it is modifying the preposition that are modifying the verbs, you realize that the verb comes immediately after it. So you have to understand it. Do we get it? Okay, the last example that I have, you may have to climb over to. Over is our preposition here. In this sentence, is it an adverb or a verb? An adverb or preposition?
Madam, please read it
An
again.
adverb.
Yes. So we move on. I've realized that you understand it now. So we move on. So preposition are uses of preposition. So one, they are used to answer question where. Where is the cat? It is on the table. It is near the table. It is beside the table. It is under. Okay, so it answers questions where. Then it also answers a question when. When did they arrive? They arrive at. They arrive before. All these before, after are examples of what? Preposition. Then see, it expresses direction. My driver drove to, from, towards. All these are examples of preposition that are expressing what? Direction. Then the D expresses possession. This is a gift of grace. Okay. So some of the preposition also expresses what? Possession. Then we have preposition in set combination. So in combination with verbs, he said, it's by mistake. The by here becomes what? The by here is what?
A preposition.
Then the said becomes what?
A verb.
Yes, it is a verb because it's a doing word. Okay, an action word. We did it on purpose. Did is our verb, then on becomes our what? The preposition. They arrived by train. Arrived here becomes our what? Verb. Okay. Yes. Then it can also be with nouns. We did it in support of our mates. Okay. Support of our mates. Children show fondness for pets. They are all combination of a preposition and what? A noun. Then we have it with what? Verb, a preposition and verb. Women are fond of children. He is averse to hard work. So all this is the combination of adjectives and the preposition. Then we have the adverbs. Two, we learn to put up with his tantrums. They drove away from Accra towards Nsawam. That is that. There are other ones here that we could have attended to, but we skip. There are other examples you can read on your own. Then we have wrong choice of prepositions. Okay, wrong choice of prepositions. So particularly verbs, nouns, adjectives, and adverbs combined with particular prepositions. When we are in any doubt as to what preposition accompanies a particular word, we have to consult our dictionaries. So we often agree with a person, but agree to a suggestion or a proposition. So how will you say it? Which of them will you use? We often agree with a person. Is it a correct statement? Hello?
Yes, madam. We agree with person and then we Yeah, great with suggestions.
That is the correct one.
Yes.
Then the next one is what? You may be filled or struck with dismay. He looked at me in dismay or disbelief. Do you get it? So he looked at me in dismay or disbelief. Do we get it? One is disgusted at an action with a person, by a person or action. So you can say one is disgusted at an action. One is disgusted with a person. One is disgusted with by a person. Any of them is correct, but we don't add them. If you are possessed with an idea, you are controlled or dominated by it. Okay. For example, John is possessed of great natural ability. Possession. The old lady possessed with or by. I hope that one too you understand. Then we look at the redundant preposition. The redundant preposition, what are they? What are the redundant prepositions? So they may consist of, some may emphasize a point, but he may lay emphasis on it. Okay. So these are the redundant prepositions. So these often, they are very often the error is the result of the false analogy. Okay, note that there's some words require no preposition. So with this, some of them does not require the preposition. Some require. So when we look at the extract here, they've stated the ones that require and the ones that do not require. So that one, you do your personal reading on it. Then omission of preposition. It is unacceptable to omit a preposition when the context requires it. So there are some instances that we need a preposition. If you take the preposition out, it doesn't make a complete sentence. The boy is found telling lies. Is it a correct English?
No.
So you see,
Okay.
so it needs a preposition, which is that boy is found of telling what? Lies. The off is there, so you can omit it. Be careful what you say. Be careful about what you say, or be careful of what you say. That is the correct English. Okay, some policemen collude armed robbers. So some policemen collude with. So you can omit some of them. There are other examples there. So we move to the next section, which is section 5. Here we are going to talk about pronouns. We know pronouns, isn't it? What is a
Yes.
pronoun? What is a pronoun?
Words used to replace nouns.
Okay. They replace a noun. Why? So they are performed as substitute noun phrases generally. So we have Kofi brought the book. So Kofi is a noun. We replace it with a pronoun what?
He.
Hello?
Hey.
Yes.
He.
He left it on the table. Okay. So Kofi can be replaced with what? He. The book can be replaced with what? It also. So he and it are pronoun substitute for Kofi, which is the subject noun phrase. Then the book is what? The object what? Noun phrase. Let's look at this sentence too. The man from Accra is here. He wants to talk to my father. So the man is replaced by who?
He.
Okay. So we know our prepositions. Then let's look at this. Pronouns are performs that substitute noun phrases to avoid unnecessary repetitions. Because pronouns replace whole noun phrases, they are normally not accompanied by determinants, such as lucky you. Those. So all these are exceptions to the general rule that determinants and modifiers do not accompany what? Pronouns. We will learn our determinants and modifiers in one of our lessons. I think in Unit 4, you get to understand it more. Let's quickly look at our personal pronouns. So there is a chart here. This normally make anaphoric. We have anaphoric and cataphoric, sorry. So the anaphoric points back to the reference, okay? Then the cataphoric moves forward, okay, to the reference. So the anaphoric reference to a noun phrases introduces earlier. Personal pronouns mark number singular and what? Plural. So we have the singular, which is I, you, he, she, it. Okay. Then the object of it becomes, the I object becomes the me, you. You know, you doesn't change. He becomes him, she becomes her, it doesn't also change. So when it comes to the genitive, it changes. Okay, when it comes to the possessive, it also what? Changes. When it comes to the reflexive too, it changes. Okay, so some of them are the first person. So let's look at what we have here. The first person refers to the person speaking, I and we. The second person refers to what? You, which, you know, you can be singular and at the same time what? Plural. And we know our third person. The third person is the he, she, and what? It. Okay. So the pronouns must what? Maintain number concord. And we know concord is the same as our subject verb, okay? With their antecedents. Okay, here are some examples. It says, the committee will submit 8 reports. The committee is plural. The committee comprises of different people on it. It is not talking about one person. So it goes with what? It's plural, the plural pronoun, okay? That is the what?
They.
Yes. Then we have the boys and the girl deserve their reward. So it is talking about 2 different people. That is the boys and the girl. That means there was only one word, girl. Then the boy and girl kiss each other. The boy, they kiss each other. So reciprocal. They all retaliated. Then they agree with the gender of the antecedents. When we meet Mary, she was waiting for her mother. So you realize that all the pronouns are in. Mary becomes the noun, she becomes a pronoun, her is also a pronoun. Are we getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
Please, do you get it? Yes. So John wants his money paid when he returns. So you okay, mention the pronouns that can be found here.
His and he.
Yes, his and he becomes the pronoun here. So it is a gender pronoun, okay? Then we have, however, it says when the gender of the antecedent that is not neuter is not stated, the masculine gender is used for its pronoun. The doctor told me to wait for him. A doctor can be what? A male or what? Female. So the doctor here is neutral. Okay, the doctor here becomes the neuter in it. The driver will keep picking passengers until his vehicle is full. The driver can be his or what? He. It's neutral. Okay. That one too is neutral. Then we have the other one that is the must mark a case. The man. We are replacing it with the pronoun what? He, which becomes the subject. Gave me. Me here becomes what? Objects. Okay. His. His is genitive because it's a masculine. Complementary what? Card. So the man here, replace it with he. Gave me becomes an object. Genitive becomes the what? His becomes the genitive. Then I told him to see you tomorrow. I here is the what? The subject is a personal pronoun, first person. Told him. Him here becomes the object. So you study the table well, you will know which of them is object and which one is the what? The subject. Okay. So that is
That please,
that.
the light hand is up.
Who?
The light.
All right, Delight.
Madam, please, about the doctor told me to wait for him. Does it mean that the him that is any doesn't determine whether the doctor is male or female? Like you
I
said,
was
the doctor
talking
is
about
neutral.
neutral. I was talking about neutral pronouns where some can be identified as the antecedent, may be identified as neutral. Okay. And I
Okay.
made mention of that the doctor can be a male or female, but when it is neutral, we usually attribute it to what? Him.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Then we have the singular indefinite pronouns. Okay, the singular indefinite pronouns are considered what? Masculine, unless the sex is obvious in the context. So if the sex is obvious in the context, that somebody wants to see you, he is waiting outside. So this one, the sex is obvious. He's talking about who? He. So let's look at the ones that are not obvious. It says, one must bear one's own burden. Okay. One must bear one's own what? Burden. Here, it is not obvious in the context. We don't know whether if it is he or he that we are what? Talking about. Are we getting it? Please hold on. My laptop is going. I need to put it on charge. Okay. So the pronoun, one must bear one's burden. So with this one, the sex is not obvious. It isn't obvious in the sentence. But when we look at the upper one, like someone is waiting outside, she is looking for Mary. That one is obvious. That one is obvious. We are able to identify that this, we are talking about her. Then we look at the pronoun as subject in non-finite clauses. Okay, so the non-finite clauses, how do we determine it? Okay, so in non-finite clauses, however, the forms change. To infinitive uses the object form of the pronoun and its subject while ending with the ing. Okay, let's look at some example here. For her to win, she must practice harder. For her to win, she must practice harder. We have to send money for them to come. What do we have to say about this? Hello.
Madam.
So the subject here becomes what? The pronouns performing as a subject here. Please, do we get it? Hello.
Madam, please,
Hi.
the network at my end is worrying me, so I can't hear you.
Who is that?
It's me, Enoch.
No, it's not only you. I think it's Madam Network rather, because I also didn't hear what she said.
And that thing is
Hey,
fluctuating.
hey, you people. Then let's go and sleep.
No, but I just take it from
Oh,
just that one before the
I think the
5.1.
network issue. It's not only my end. We are all experiencing that. So don't blame me.
Madam,
Yes, we are all experiencing. So that is that. I said the pronouns. Some can be as a subject in non-finite clauses. So the non-finite clauses, the subject, some of the pronouns becomes a subject in it. So for her to win, she must practice harder. So it's a non-finite clause sentence. The her here becomes the what? Pronoun as a what? Subject. Are you getting it?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
madam.
yes, please.
Okay. So we move. We move. Let's move. What is the time? Okay, let's quickly move to the last section, which we need to look at spelling. Okay. What is spelling? Please, you read on the recursive and unclear pronouns. What is spelling? Where is the daughter to doorman?
Madam is
Hello.
here.
What is a spelling?
Spelling is about spelling of words.
What's another word?
By the word is so.
Use another word. Which one is the spelling of word? It's who? Felix is who? Felix.
Nana
Madam,
Yao
please.
or David.
Nanayao. Yes. Nanayao, I want another word.
Okay, madam, I'll find a word for you.
Okay, let me just
Madam,
give.
spelling is the correct way of arranging letters to form a word.
Okay. So let me give you a brief of this. You know that spellings plays a very pivotal role in our daily life, as in spelling of words and the spelling of words. So we need to, know how to spell words correctly. When we look at our model, there are some particular words that are misspelled, like accommodate, acquaintance, all right, argument. These are confusing words that we are unable to spell correctly. Okay, so we learn how to spell words. How do we spell words correctly? You have to learn the basic rules. What are some of the basic rules that you have to learn? Your research has shown that many spelling errors of students occur because they do not understand the basic rules. That is learning the rules governing the spelling words, which eliminates. People may spell knowing your sounds. Okay, knowing the sounds of your words. So you see here phonetic and ideographic systems of spelling. So here, one reason for finding English spelling difficult is that there is no correspondence between the pronunciation of a word or its orthography. In other words, English spelling is not phonetic, as most of our local languages. You know, how we pronounce words is different from how we spell it. We don't say castle, but we say castle. The T is silent. So right now, if I ask you to spell castle, and somebody who has not made that word will omit the T, but with castle, there is T. We don't say listen. Hello?
Yes, madam.
Hi.
Was somebody talking?
No, please.
Mm. So that is that, okay? So some of our words, we don't blend the phonetics with our local languages, okay? So a spelling system is a phonetic way symbols used in pronunciation correspond with letters used in writing. Then we have, when a language is initially transformed from purely oral existence to both oral and writing systems, there is almost total correspondence between speech, writing. Okay, so a language like English or French, which enjoys hundreds of years in written existence, ceases to be phonetic in its spelling system. So how we pronounce words is different from how we spell it. Okay, I'm looking at some example here. We say spelling system has to become ideographic. Okay, so there is example C. Okay, C, when I say C, somebody might spell S-E-E. Somebody may spell S-E-E because they have the same sound, but different alphabets together and different meaning. Okay, so C represents the idea, not the sound. So we have the picture that forms in our mind when we first mention the word and the meaning. Okay, so when we are spelling words, we should be very careful. Then we have the morphological process and spelling. Okay, so the morphological requirements will give us problem with spelling. There are a number of changes in spelling of nouns, verbs, adjective, and adverbs, which occur when endings are added to them. These types changes like replacing, adding, and dropping. So let's look at these three types, the replacing, and we look at the ending, and we look at the dropping. Changing Y to what? IE. Okay. For example, we have you hurry. So the hurries here, the Y changes to what? IES. The third person, it changes to what? IES. You know that with our pronouns, with the third person, the he, she, and it, when we are writing or when we are speaking, the verb that has to continue with that pronoun should has an S. Please, do you get it? That's why we say I have, you have, she has, it has, he has. Please, do you get it? Then when you are when you are speaking or spelling something, I would say when you are speaking and you immediately when you bring the third person, it follows with an S. So you hurry, you carry, she hurries, she carries. Okay, so you realize that the you hurry, the second person, that one is not with what? It doesn't change. You carry, it doesn't change. But she hurries. Because it's a third person, we add the S to it, making it IES. Then we have the one that's in the plural. Spy, lady. The plural form becomes spies. We add the IES to it. So the ones that become IE, the third person, we add S to it. The same applies to the adjective. We know the adjective, we have comparative and superlative. The comparative have the ER at the end, and the superlative have the what? EST at the end. Early, earlier, earliest. This thing, we did it in basic school, so I'll not waste time here. Then we have Y that is kept in the following instances. After a vowel, stays, journeys. So here, the Y doesn't go off, but rather you add the S what? To it, okay? But in case like soliloquy, it changes to the IES, okay? Then in proper nouns, it doesn't change. Then one, it says in the verbs lay, it changes to what? Laid. Pay, it changes to what? Paid. So this one, it changes from, the Y changes from what? Change from Y to what? ID. You add the ID to it. Then this one to gay, gaily. So that one to the Y.
Madam, please, I want to say something.
Bravo.
I'm listening.
Madam, please, I want
Is
to
it
say
Anaya?
yes,
I'm
please.
listening.
Madam, please, looking at the Y, which changes to the A, we have some two vowel letters too. When they are combined to, they also give the sound A. Looking at A and E, when they are combined to, they give the sound A.
Mm-hmm. When they are added A and E, can you give me a word that's to combine, that are combined like that?
Yes, so, Madam, please, aging. For that one, A and E is combined. And we have A dash E to that sound A, like make. We have the sound A in it.
Oh, no. We are talking about the one that is ending with Y. Okay.
Oh, okay.
The make that you are saying, there is K in the middle of them. They are not combined.
Madam, please, but we have aging.
Aging is AGEING.
No, Madam,
That
please,
one to G.
Madam, please, aging, ION. Aging.
AG.
Madam, please, aging, AE are combined. No letter comes between.
You said AE what? Spell the word you are talking about.
Madam, please, aging, AE, Jane. Jane, ION,
But
aging.
That's not how we spell it. All. Aging is AGEING.
AGEING, Felix.
You're confusing yourself. Is it Nanaya or Felix?
Madam, please, not like age. Not like age. Like we have age like a word, a meaningful word.
What does it mean?
One day, somebody will look at you and say, I paid for this. And God answer you.
Hello.
No, listen.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello, madam.
Nanaya, can you type what you are saying? You said AG.
Madam, please, it's not Anaya, it's Felix.
Madam, please, AG. Madam, please, AG, Jin, ION. Agent. AG, Jin, ION.
And what does it mean? That is a company's name. Hey, you people will kill me, you. Then the ones with we adding letters. Okay. Adding E to the bases ending in S, Z, SH, the sound to form plural of nouns, as in asses, boxes, dishes, watches. Okay, so with X, as, it changes to what? ES. Then we have dish, we add ES to it. Then watch, we add ES to it. Okay, in the third person. Then we have adding of the E to it and doubling consonants. We know the doubling consonant, mostly it is found in what? The adjectives. Big, bigger, biggest, thin, thinner, thinnest. We doubling the consonants in between. Then the verbs before the ing and ed. So we double it. Then dropping of letters. We have the dropping of letters. Some of the letters are being dropped, okay? Some of them are being dropped. There are examples in it. You go and read. Please, any question? Hello?
Hi.
Any question?
No.
Hello? Any
Hi.
question?
Yes, madam. There's no question.
Okay, so please, what I can say now is do well. Diane, is your hands up? Please do well to
Oh,
update the
I raised
page.
my hand during section 5.1.
Oh, sorry. When I'm
I had a
presenting, I'm
question there,
on.
but you didn't call me.
Oh, but then Felix didn't see. Sorry. And what was the question?
It was when you were, is it non-finite, and then you were given an example. There was an example there that I want to ask a question about, but I think I get it. I'll read about it today.
Okay. Joy, is your hands up? Okay, so what I will entreat you is please and please, I'm pleading with you. Kindly send, I think you said Renee did something that you can put your index number, your name, and your telephone number. Kindly do that for me, because when are you starting with the quiz? Next week or next 2 weeks?
Next 2 weeks, madam.
Next week.
So this week is for revision. The next week is for the quiz. So I'm pleading with you, kindly let me have the list before you start the quiz. Then you know your topics, then you communicate. Kindly add numbers that can be reached out. I am pleading with you. Numbers that can be called. When we
Yes,
need
madam.
you, don't go and give us number that is a WhatsApp number that we will call and will not get you, please. And remember, the presentation is 20 marks, which will be added to your quiz as assessment for 40 marks. Then your exams. So if you fail to participate in the presentation, I don't have any marks to give you, please. I'm pleading with you.
Madam.
Yes, dear.
Please, I'm not on the page. I've sent a message at the message box.
Oh, but the last class, they posted the link on this page. Send me a hi on WhatsApp, then I'll join you, okay?
Thank you, madam.
You're welcome. So have a good evening and enjoy the rest of the week, and enjoy your how do we call it, your revision. Go and perform well in your quizzes, okay? Do what you can, read word to word. There is nothing that is going to become outside the model. Read your unit 1 to 3 very well. The questions are coming from there. Questions will not come from any other place. So please focus on your models, and that is why your models have been given to you. Focus there. I want A's in this class. My last class that I had, those in level 200, I had number of A's from them. So please do well. Okay. So
Yes,
all the
madam.
best. All the best. Bye-bye.
Rene, please give the information.
Okay. I'm yet about to create a new one so that everyone, I'll paste it on the WhatsApp platform so that everyone can.
So should I wait for this one?
Which one?
Hello. You
Which
said
one?
you said you place some on the WhatsApp page, or where?
I was talking about the Google form. You see, the first one didn't include telephone numbers, and they are saying that we need a new one which will include the numbers to reach out to the people. So I'm doing a different one. So I'll
Doing
put
it
it
right now.
sorry, yeah. So I'll put it on the WhatsApp platform and then we all fill it.
Okay.
Okay, Renee, thank you.
Okay, so can you equally share the WhatsApp link here so we can join from this side? I don't know if that will
Okay.
be possible.
So some of you are still not on the platform.
Yeah, some of us, yeah, I'm on.
Yes.
Okay,
The
so
WhatsApp, please.
I'm trying to see if I can paste the link so that
Okay.
so you kindly put your number in the chat box and let me add you, please.
Yeah, please. I've pasted my own long time.
Okay, okay. So
That's my WhatsApp number. Yes. Please, have you seen it?
yes, I just saw it. I just saw it.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So I'm adding
That's
you
my,
right.
you said?
I'm adding you right away.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. So I guess you've seen mine too.
Yes, I've seen all of them.
All right, thank you.
Guys, please, I was away before the end of the session. Was there something that was said that is I need to know, please?
My own is done. Can I leave?
You've entered, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you can leave.
And that's my own is the one touch. Nkrumah Rose. Or should I
Okay.
include my name?
Oh, it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
As
My
long
own
as
is
you
the one
as
two
long as
five. Last
okay,
number 125. The one I pasted first.
okay. As long as you're part of the group, then that's all.
Okay. Then good night.
Yeah, good night to you too.
Uh,
Precious, please, have you joined?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay. Please, is there anyone else? Okay.